Yeah, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome. Good afternoon. Welcome. Join me in as we continue our discussion on Venn diagrams. Sure, we will learn one of the important theorems. So before that, let's quickly understand that the audio and video is coming out to be clear. Quickly confirm on that. Whoever is in the meeting, whoever is watching live, it would be great if you could confirm on it. Then we are good to start. All right. Yeah, we are good to start then. So let's carry on. Before others could join in, we create that momentum. So here I go. I'll quickly introduce myself. I'm Belvi Srinivas. Worked several years, that's since 2007, with various test prep organizations in various capacities, both in terms of management as well as in terms of the training. And over a period of time, yes, I did acquire a few skills to train others, train students as well as train the trainers. That's quickly about my background. Yes, you can get in touch with me for short counseling, brief counseling. This letter is L, it is not I. You can get in touch through this and then you can message me so that I will reach out to you and we can, if valid in whatever the capacity I can counsel, I will counsel you to get to the better position. Yeah, here we go. Let me quickly do some quick announcements as you settle down with your pen and a book. So all of you, those who are joining in, you settle down with your pen, settle down with your book, and probably if you have the previous class notes, you may kind of quickly take a look there. And as you listen to the announcements, you can do that. Yeah, so Unacademy offers two kinds of subscription. One of them is plus, the other one is a star. Star is nothing but iconic. It is not star subscription, it's an iconic subscription. Yeah, plus subscription is more about the structured preparation. It can be about the structured courses, structured tests, it could be classes. So all of this, in fact, all the most important thing is the study material, which also comes with beautifully animated and highlighted notes. So that's something. And in addition to all of this, so you will get in iconic, you also get the personalized attention, be it with respect to selection of B schools, be it with respect to application, the way you put the application to the B schools, or with respect to the tests, all of that, right? It can be the improvement in scores. Therefore, you want to show your scorecard to someone, the way you attempted the questions, and you want to get some insights into it. So all of that comes with the iconic part. Right, yeah, plus subscription, these are the nominal price, nominal charges to subscribe. So technically, if you're looking for CAT 21, the 6 months should be adequate. If you're looking at CAT 22 or CAT 23, you can go for the longer subscriptions. So on all of this, you get 10% discount. So for this, you can use the code BELVI100. To use it, you can avail 10% discount on the listed prices. Right, iconic subscription. Yes, it comes with a little bit of premium because there are a lot of one-to-one hours which are involved in iconic subscription, which are essential because sometimes some of the investments are worth it. You get that one-to-one understanding. And yes, because of some silly mistakes, we have seen people missing out on the big B schools. For to avoid such things, probably you may have to interface with a couple of mentors and seek their advice, seek their opinion, for those who understand how the professors think, how the selections happens at the B school, things like that. So that comes with. So technically, I would advise that you can go for iconic subscription for 6 months because a lot of one-to-one discussions may be involved in the next critical 6 months period. 3 months to CAT and 3 months post CAT are kind of very very important there. Yeah. Okay, there is a the prices are set to go up from 16th by about 10%. So if you are making certain decisions, you can make decisions before that so that you don't have to pay extra. All right, that brings us to the discussion. Quickly, let me know who all have joined. Nihar has joined, Rishav has joined, Manu has joined, Vipul is in the meeting. Who else is in the meeting? Let me quickly know if somebody has joined the meeting there. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Give a quick understanding on the audio and the video. Is everything fine? All going good? Audio good, video good? Yeah. Okay. All right. Great. Great. Fair enough. So let's understand this. This is one of the theorems. This is only one and the only theorem that we have here. And to give the background to this, sure, you should have watched the Venn diagram first lecture. The Venn diagram, the first lecture is very, very important. because there we spoke about the region. Here also we speak about the regions. The regions is what we call them in the perspective of the theorem. There we talked about two numbers. One are the guiding numbers or the support numbers versus actual numbers, right? We spoke about the support number and we spoke about the actual numbers, right? It's actuals. Okay, what are the supports? This is the support. Whatever the number you write here is first support number. You write for this particular circle, that is the second support number, third support number, and this could be the fourth support number. There may be four support numbers. So what are the actuals here? These are the actuals. This is the first actual number, second, and this is the third, could be the fourth. There is no order, I'm just showing it. 5, 6, 7, and 8. These are the 8 actual numbers, right? So there are 8 actual numbers and there are 4 support numbers if it is a Venn diagram for 3. Okay, what about if it is a Venn diagram for 2? What if it is a Venn diagram for 2? These are the support numbers. This is the support number, what you write outside. This is the second support number. This is the third support number, right? What you write there is the support number. Where are the actuals? This is the actual number, second actual number, third actual number, and fourth actual number. First, we need to identify the support number versus the actuals. Now, that is what helps us to understand the zonal theorem. What does the zonal theorem does? Zonal theorem establishes a relationship between the support numbers and the actual numbers. That is all the theorems that. So that is the theorem. See, different teachers might have called by different names, so I don't know. But then what does the zonal theorem, or zonal theorem connects, this particular theorem connects the support numbers with the actuals. Let's examine this. Let's kind of examine this. So let me put it in a different sense. Let me write it something like this while I'm doing this. Okay. So let's, for the time being, let's assume that none is equal to 0. Time being, let us assume that there is a none which is equal to 0. Let me call these are set of A things, these are set of B things. Some people read max in A, some people are reading max in B. Okay, so now this is the people who read only A. When I'm writing Roman number A, or Roman number and subscript A, which means they read only A. If I write this Roman number 2 and B, the Roman number 1 and B, they read exactly one magazine, that is called as B. Okay, here I will write 2AB because they read both magazines A as well as B. Roman 2. Now let me understand this. If I add A plus B, what do I get? Let me quickly understand this. If I add A plus B, what do I get? A, what is A here? A is nothing but 1A plus 2 times of AB. That is nothing but region of 2. All right, plus A. What is this B here? B here is nothing but 1B plus 2 times of AB. I just took those regions here. Okay, what is A? A is nothing but 1A. What is this A? A is nothing but 1A plus 2AB. So that's what I represented it out here. All right. And then when it comes to, say, when it comes to the second one, the B, what is this B I'm talking about? 1B plus 2AB. That is what I represented out here. Okay. If I put them together, now listen to me. Both of these together are regions of 1. So that is 1A plus 1B together. I would call it as region 1. Region 1 can be partitioned into too many pieces, but 1A plus 1B together, I will call it as region 1. I will put that as region 1. Okay. Now this is nothing but region 2 because there is only one region 2. I will call it as region 2. Now put it together. Now so here, if I just understand this, 1A plus 1B, these two together, I will call it as region 1. Okay. Now these two parameters put together, 2AB plus 2AB, nothing but 2 only. Therefore 2 times of region 2. Wherefore if you add 2 support number, observe this. If you add 2 support numbers, 1A and B, these what were these? These were the support numbers in the Venn diagram. This was the Venn diagram. So these were the support numbers. A was the support number, B was the support number. If you add 2 support number, region of 1s are accounted one time, and the region of 2s are accounted 2 times. Let's keep that in mind. This is all the theorem about. Then how do we use this theorem effectively? We will see. Now let me go to the Venn diagram for 3. I hope it is kind of clear here. What I want you to understand or note it down here is this, because this is the theorem. If I add 2 support numbers A and B, I end up adding region of 1s one time, but I end up adding region of 2 times. Okay, how many regions of 1s are there? Of course, there are 2 regions of 1s. Of course, there are 2 regions of 1s, but each of them was considered only one time. Fair enough. Now let me come to the Venn diagram for 3. Let's try and understand this here. So what if I had, all right, now let me put A plus B plus C. Say this is A. Now I'm conducting a survey for 3 magazines ABC. All right. Now, so if I write anybody's name here, they read only magazine A, they read only magazine B, they read only magazine C. If I write anybody's name here, they read 2 magazines called A and B, they read 2 magazines called B and C. These people also read 2 magazines called AC. Fair enough. The middle fellows read all three magazines called ABC. Okay. Now this is what the proposition is. Okay. So for the time being, let's assume none is equal to 0. For the time being, let's assume none is equal to 0. So now, so what does this mean to us? If I add, all right, now what is 1? First, let me define what is region 1. Region 1 means all the people who read exactly one magazine. They may be reading magazine A, or they may be reading magazine B, or they may be reading magazine C. All this put together, I call it as region 1. Hey, what is region 2? Region 2 is also partitioned into three pieces. This is a region 2, this is a region 2, this is a region 2. That is people who read magazines only AB, the people who are reading, all right, now magazines only BC, and the people who are reading magazines only AC. Hey, what is the region 3? There is only one such region which you represented as ABC. Now listen very, very carefully here. Listen very, very carefully on this. I want you to listen carefully. Now I want to add A plus B plus C. Let me check what happens there. A means I'm putting a star here. I have to add this number. I have to add this star. I have to add this star and I have to add this star. Okay, now I'm not writing this. These four stars put together is region 1. Okay, now what about region 2? Now region 2, I will put the hash. I will put the hash. That is B. What is B there for? So B's are nothing but this. All right, now this number I should add to this particular number. I have to add to this number and I should add to this number. Together it is called as region 2. All right, that is nothing but together is B when I added B. Okay. Now let me add C to this as well. Let me add C to this. All right. So if I add C, now let me put let me, all right, now for the C, let me put a question mark. All right, C, a question mark here. This is a C, this region is a C, and this region is a C. Now count it, how many symbols are there in regions of ones. Count the symbols. There is only one symbol here, there is only one symbol here, there is only one symbol here, which means region of ones have been accounted one time. This came one time, this number came one time, this came one time. Therefore all regions of ones came exactly one time. All right, okay. Now come to the regions of 2. Look how many symbols are there in regions of 2. I could see 2 symbols in this circle, I could see 2 symbols in this circle, and I could see 2 symbols in this circle, which means 2AB is accounted 2 times, this is accounted 2 times, this is accounted 2 times. Therefore region of 2 has been accounted 2 times, implies 2 times of region of 2. Of course region of 2 has been partitioned into 3 groups, we all know that, but then I'm talking about 1. All right, region of 2 together, every element of region of 2 has been accounted 2 times. That is what is important. All right, so region of 2 is done. Hey, what about region of 3? Take a look at region of 3. You could see all 3 symbols. There is a star, there is a hash, and there is a question mark, which means region of 3 has been accounted 3 times. Okay, if you just quickly go back, what did we learn here? If it is a Venn diagram for 2, region of 1 time, region of 2 times. If it is a Venn diagram for 3 support numbers add up to this. So therefore let me extend. What am I trying to say? 2 support numbers A plus B. If I have 2 support numbers, then every region of 1 gets accounted 1 time and region of 2 gets accounted 2 times. All right, what if I have a Venn diagram for 3 and 3 support numbers, only inside support number? Okay, there is 1 support number outside as well. I'm not talking about that. Only 3 inside numbers, which excludes none of these. So 3 support number implies that region of 1 gets accounted 1 time, region of 2 gets accounted 2 times, and region of 3 gets accounted 3 times. You may say that region of 2 has been partitioned into 3. All right, now there is 3 partitions. We are aware, but I don't need 3 variables or something. This is what the theorem says. This understanding should be clear. Okay, what if it is a Venn diagram for 4 then? I'm not drawing now. So Venn diagram for 4, A plus B plus C plus D. There will be 4. Venn diagram for 4. In the first lecture, we kind of drew the diagram. We know where are the regions, etc. All region of 1s will be accounted 1 time. All region of 2s will be accounted 2 times. Every region of 3 would be accounted 3 times. And every region of 4 would be accounted 4 times. Now this is the story of the zonal theorem. Did you all kind of understand this? This is the background. This is the background for today's study. This is the background for today's study. So if I quickly ask you, how many regions of 1s are there in Venn diagram for 4? 4 regions. How many regions of 2s are there? 6 regions. All 6 regions together, I'm calling it as 2. How many regions of 3 are there in Venn diagram for 4? Again, 6 regions. So 4 regions. right? How many regions of 4 are there? There is one region. Put together 15 regions. For 15 regions, I'm using Roman number 1, Roman number 2, 3, and 4. But the point is, you should know these many regions exist, and you should also know where are these regions on the diagram. Diagram, you should have a photographic memory, which is important there, right? That belongs to the first chapter. First lecture when we did, we examined some of the terms there, and we examined these diagrams, basic diagrams. That thought carrying is very, very important for today's lecture. Fair enough. The theorem is clear. This is the theorem. Theorem is clear. What is the theorem trying to do? The theorem is trying to link support numbers with the inside numbers. That's all the theorem is trying to do out here. Okay, give a quick understanding. Theorem is clear, everybody. Theorem is clear. Vipul, it's clear. Keval, it's clear. Oh, thanks, Akash. Thanks for the comment. All right. Mohit is clear. Manu is clear. Sonakshi is clear. All right. All right. Good. Prashant is clear. All right. Yeah. Everyone is clear. More or less, everybody is clear. Okay. Good. That's good. That is good. That is good. All right. Yeah. I will give a quick reflection time because nothing is new out here. So I'm opening up the set for the understanding now. So here is a set for this understanding. Of course, we are going to use the zonal theorem on this. But first read the set, read the questions, read the set, read the question. All of you would had some inclination, some understanding of the set theory or the Venn diagrams. So use that little bit of understanding that you have. I will give about 2 minutes. In that 2 minutes, read the set, read the question, and figure out how you would have started this particular set, starting point. Figure out the starting point on this particular set. Go, all of you, take this 2 minutes, make good use of this. Take a pen, take a paper, read the set, and try and see how do you open up starting thoughts. How do you organize the data on this particular set? Go ahead. Take these 2 minutes, use them judiciously, don't waste. Keep a book, keep a pen, don't be passive onlooker, don't keep watching alone. Yeah, good. All right. Yeah. Keval, you are asking, can we use the flip side? Yes, yes. That always exists. So will it work? Won't it work? Is a different thought, right? Will it work or won't it work? Is a different thought. Will the flip side exist? That always exists. The flip side, yes. All right. No, these are the usual thoughts with which you kind of examine anything that is given there. All right. There is nothing wrong about it. But will it work or not? That I already told you yesterday. So it may work, it may not work, but nothing stops from thinking in those directions and trying to check it out there. Of course, yes. Of course, yes. Now look at this. All right. Now all of you listen very, very carefully because this sets the foundation for some of our maxima minima. This is an important theorem. A lot of people neglect it and they write all over the place A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, or whatnot. They make so many equations. Nothing. All right. right, now all of that, no, not required. If you know the zonal theorem, all right, then it is sorted, kind of it is sorted. Let me come to this. So what is that author is trying to say here? A survey was conducted among 300 car owners, all right, 300 car owners, about the make of the car that they own. The first one, it was found that 100 of them own Ford, all right, the make made by Ford. About 125 of them Toyota. Toyota is about 125. Then 150 use Suzuki motors. All right, 150 Suzuki cars. It's not 100 inside. It is not only Ford. You don't add the word only Ford there, right? Okay. 35 of them had exactly two of the three brands. Now think about it, which means X here, Y here, Z here. All three numbers put together is 35. Now don't immediately write X, Y, Z and start writing X plus Y plus Z is equal to 35. Stop that. Stop that. So let's now. That's all. I already said that. Always the variable is the last thing that we write. We never start with variables. We end with variables maybe if there is no way out. At the end, we kind of end with variables and then we try to figure out something there. But never we kind of begin with the variables. All right. Yeah. Let's take a look at this. Listen carefully. All of you listen carefully. Now see, what is that we know? Support numbers. Listen first. If you are doing it for the first time like this, listen. If you are already using it already now, so set here, all right, 100, 125, right, and then you have 150. Now listen carefully. So if I add these three tick support numbers, what do I get? Every region of 1 will get accounted one time. Listen carefully, my friends. Every region of get 1 accounted one time. Every region of 2 gets accounted 2 times. Say, where are the regions of 2s? This is the region of 2, this is the region of 2, and this is the region of 2. Of course, the configurations are different. Ford with Toyota, this is Toyota with Suzuki, this is Ford with Suzuki, right? This is a region of 1, this is also a region of 1. This is also a region of 1. What is the region of 1 here? Region of 1, only Ford. All right, now those who own only Toyota, those who own only Suzuki. Naturally, all right, now this is all three. All right, fine. So we have it. So which means when I'm writing 1, I mean that, hey, there are people who own only Ford here. That's a realization behind my mind. There are people who own only Suzuki here. There are people who also own only Toyota here. All three put together, I'm consolidating it as a region of 1. All right, let's be very clear on that. Similarly, when I meant 2, region of 2, what I meant, I am considering the people who own Ford with Toyota. I'm considering the people who own Ford with Suzuki. I am also considering people who own Toyota with Toyota with Suzuki. All this together, I'm calling it as a region of 2. Don't confuse there. All right. So that is my second region. Plus 3 times of region 3 will be equal to sum of all these numbers. Say which all numbers, man? 100 plus 125, which is 225, plus 150. All right, now so I'm adding up all these three particular numbers, so which becomes 375. Which numbers did I add? I added this 100 support numbers. How did I get to know? I already explained the zonal theorem. 100 added to 125 added to 150, so together it has become 375, right? That is 375. But at the same time, I also know, hey, what is this 300 trying to do here? What about the none? None is equal to 0. Who said? Author only said. Look at the last question. Each of them, each owns at least one of the three brands, which means when you took a survey, there were nobody in that particular survey who said that I don't own any of these three brands of cars. They all own at least one of the brands of these particular cars. Fair enough. All right, so we got to that particular point. So what it also means, what it also means that there are people who own exactly one car. So all of one car, and there are people who own exactly two cars. It is exclusive. The people who own one car does not belong to the people who own two cars. There are people who own exactly two cars, and there are people who own all three cars together equal to 300. That is the meaning of this particular number 300. When I just make all these 300 people sit in one conference room, if I tell them that, hey, how many of you own exactly one of these three car types, all right, one of these three models, some hands will go up. I will count them. Okay, then I will say that hands down. So and then again ask caller, how many of you own exactly two models out of these three models we're talking about? Some other hands go up. Now these hands are different from the hands which went up earlier, because earlier the hands went up when they had exactly one car, one out of three brands. Now there are 2 out of 3 brands, different hands go up. I will add them. Then I will say that, okay, how many of you own exactly 3 or all 3 of these particular brands we are discussing? Some other hands go up. These are not the hands which went before. These are the different set of hands. Now when I add them, that will be equal to total number of participants, because it's given there is no participant in that room, in that survey, who said that I don't own any of these particular cars, right? So that's the meaning there. Okay, therefore I have 2 equations. I have two equations. First, everyone confirm that these 2 equations are clear. These 2 equations are clear. Hey, this takes only 30 seconds to write. Once you understand this, just read. In 30 seconds you would have arrived at these 2 equations. That's it. After understanding, while understanding, everything takes time. But these 2 equations are clear. What is this 300 means? Which means I used every single support number. 300 was a support number. Listen, let's continue. 300 is a support number. I used it judiciously. 100, 125 and 150 were the support numbers. I used them very, very judiciously. Whatever the scanty data available. So because I know that from the support number, I can arrive at the actuals. Okay. Yeah. Now understand. Now give me a quick confirmation that these 2 equations are crystal clear to all of you. How we arrived at these 2 equations are very, very clear from the region's perspective. One, courtesy zonal theorem. The other one, simple understanding, basic understanding. Right? The first equation is just a basic understanding. Second equation, courtesy zonal theorem. Yeah. Clear? Everybody clear on this? Good. Very good. Very good. Super. Brilliant. Solve. Therefore, solve. Let's solve them. Let's solve them. Okay, so solve, which means subtract the first equation from the second equation. Good. Subtract the first equation from the second, which means subtract the first on the first, line 1 with the line 2. Subtract that, you get what? Region 2. 2 times of region 3 is equal to 75. Region 2 plus 2 times of region 3 is equal to 75. Fair enough. Then one more piece of information is there. Region 2 is 35. 35 of them had exactly 2 out of 3 brands of cars. It's given there. Therefore, region 2 is nothing but 35. 35 plus 2 times of region 3 is equal to 75. From here, you find that the region 3 is nothing but 20. 20 of them own all 3 cars. Now I know that, therefore I can come back and write, hey, what is the breakup of this 300 man? Some people own exactly 1 car. Some people own exactly 2 cars. Some people own all 3 cars together. How much? Together 300, out of which you said that people who own all 3 cars is 20. People own exactly 2 cars. It's already given to me, which is 35. Therefore, how many of them own exactly 1 car? How many of them own exactly 1 car? I can write this as 245. Now my nuts and bolts are clear. These are called nuts and bolts. It doesn't take much time. The moment you read this question, this is what is your nuts and bolts. You are ready with your nuts and bolts. Now what to do with these nuts and bolts, that is we'll see later. But these are called as these are the components of this particular question. When an author tried to say this, he's trying to tell the components. Look man, 245 of them own exactly 1 car, 35 own exactly 2 cars, 20 of them own all 3 cars, but you don't know because region 1 has been divided into 3 parts. You don't know the breakup as of now, but all you know is, hey, there are 245 folks who own exactly 1 car. This is called as the components of this particular study. This is what he tried to tell here. So he gave the components and then he's asking ifs and buts. That is what CAT exactly does. And then he asked me some ifs and buts, because knowing that we will knowledge, first thing is to know the component. Just by knowing components, you will not be able to fill the Venn diagram. I told you before, first level, 0 level is what? Filling the Venn diagram is called as the 0 level. CAT is never interested in filling the Venn diagram. They are always interested in leave some blank, quiz on that particular blank. Let's see how these people are going to attack this. These ifs and buts are going to come. Maxima, minima, or no maxima, minima. There are always going to be certain ifs and buts as long as I understood the CAT. All right, yeah, there we go. Now the nuts and bolts are ready. All right, nuts and bolts are ready. Let's go to the questions now. Listen, let's go to the questions. Let's go to the questions. The diagram should be in your mind. Regions of 2s you should know. Regions of 1s you should know. All the diagrams should be in your mind. Okay. Yeah, let's go to the questions. First one is a sitter, direct. It's just based on the nuts and bolts that we are trying to do. How many people had exactly one of the 3 brands? 245. Very direct. Now listen, second question onwards. Right? Second question onwards. Hey, what are these ifs and buts? Ifs and buts here. If 8 owned only Toyota and Suzuki, fair enough. So it's here. This is 8. That's what you should write in the diagram. If 8 own only Toyota and Suzuki with them, then how many of them own only Ford? Question mark is here. What is the value of this question mark? Call it, what is the value of this question mark? Fair enough. So what all numbers I can write here? I can write this 20 because absolutely no problem. After this, after having my nuts and bolts, what I can fill? I can fill only one number called as 20, which means if I just had this, listen carefully, if I had this nuts and bolts with me, and if I look at my actuals, I had 8 actuals, out of which one actual was already 0 because author has already said this. But what is another actual that I can fill? Only this number called 20. Other than this, nothing I can fill, right? That is the only number I can fill. Fair enough. After that, what is author trying to say? 8 owned only Toyota and Suzuki. This number is 8. This number is 8. Therefore, the question mark is, can you tell me how many had only Ford with them? Very good. So all we know is what? We also know that, now from here, so we can see the value of these two stars put together. I can tell the value of these two stars. Hey, how do you know the value of these two stars? Go to the region nuts and bolts. Check with your nuts and bolts. Region 2 is 35. Out of 35, 8 is there. Therefore, these two stars put together. I am not answering the question mark. I will come there. Value of these two stars. I don't know the breakup, but what is the value of these two stars? 35 minus 8, because all regions of 2's together, I'm circling it here nuts and bolt. It is 35. Out of 35, 8 is already here. Hey, how much therefore? This is 27. I'm not saying the only Ford is 27. This 27 stands for these two stars. Now take a look at the Ford one there. So you have 20 here. These two put together is another 27. So therefore together now it has become 47. Therefore only Ford will be how much? Another 53, because that circle adds up to 100. Out of 100, already you know these two values, right? These two values are 27. The middle value is 20. Therefore the remaining value is 53. Very simple. Once you have your nuts and bolts, that is how you are going to attack these questions. Are you getting a fair understanding of this, everybody? Are you getting a fair understanding of how to use the zonal theorem to arrive at the nuts and bolts and then navigate through the question? 3-step process. First, get your nuts and bolts in place. All right, first use the zonal theorem to get the nuts and bolts in place. Once you have your nuts and bolts, then go to the questions and try to attack them. Making sense? 3-step process is clear how to look at them. Good. So when do you use this approach? Only when the support numbers are given. When support numbers are given, this is the way you are going to approach them, because support numbers have a connection with the actuals through zonal theorem. Through zonal theorem. Good. All right. So if you have done that, everybody answer the question 3. Some of you answered. So I'll let know those who answered, it's fine. I'll let everybody try and think on your own and get me the answer to question 3. It shouldn't take much time. Diagram is right in front of you. Yeah, quickly put the answer to question number 3. Everyone, move your fingers, sit with your book and pen. Don't be passive onlookers, just watching something, right? Don't make it an edutainment. Okay. This is not any entertainment, right? From entertainment to edutainment. Let's not get into that fashion of edutainment. Let's make it a true education. Yeah. Okay. Good. Yeah, about 4 of you gave the answer. All 4 of you are right. I'm hoping that everybody is getting the answer. Everybody will get the answer, no doubt. Okay, if 80 people had only Toyota cars, this time he's saying that this number is 80, only Toyota cars, then how many had only Suzuki and Ford? Only Suzuki and Ford is this particular number. If 80 had only Toyota cars, he's saying that 80 had only Toyota cars, then how many had only Suzuki and Ford? This is the question mark. Okay, so now I will go to this particular number, which is that number 125. Go to 125, out of which 80 is here, 20 is here. Therefore, what will be the value of these two stars? What would be the value of these two stars? 25. Those two stars together will add up to 25. This and this, these two stars will add up to 25. Good. So again, go to the region 2. Region 2 is 35. Out of 35, 25 is here. Therefore, how much more in the region 2? 10. Because I know that there are 3 regions, out of which 2 of them are adding up to 25. Therefore, the other one is 10. In the sense, you will have some scanty pieces of information here and there. Make use of all those pieces of information, right? So that's what you kind of do in these kind of questions. You will never be able to fill the Venn diagram. That is not what CAT would be interested in. More often than not, they won't be interested in that. You will have some bits and pieces of information. You have to reason it out to get it. That's what we mean by logical reasoning using Venn diagram. That's the meaning there. All right. Okay. So all of you got some perspective on this. Three-step process is clear. Everybody got the perspective. Shall we go further? Shall we discuss one more? Quick, quick, quick. Everybody got a perspective on this? Got some idea how to use the zonal theorem? One, first you should understand the zonal theorem. I showed one of the applications of zonal theorem. Quickly give the confirmation. Quick, move your fingers. Quickly give the confirmation that zonal theorem is clear. Okay, your teachers might have taught by different name in the high school or whatever. Okay, so if it is a different name, don't try to debate saying that my teacher said like this is the right word for this theorem. Whatever, I don't know. I've been all right now for ages. I've been calling it like this. I'm comfortable calling it like that, so I'm calling it. You want to call me a different name for this theorem? Your teachers have given a different name. I don't mind. So the meaning remains same. So the names may change, but they wouldn't have said anything different from this, right? Whatever I'm trying to say, they would have said exactly same thing out there. All right. So for this, I will give you 3 minutes reflection time, having understood this, right? So take 3 minutes and at least arrive at the nuts and bolts of this question. Arrive at the nuts and bolts of this question. Then solving we will see later. Take good 3 minutes, but give me the nuts and bolts of this particular question. Yeah, go ahead. All of you go ahead. Use this time properly. Take book, take pen, very cryptic data. Solve. All right. Yeah. Fine, guys. Here we go. Here we go. We'll run out of time otherwise. So let's do it together meticulously. Let's do it. So after reading this set, all of you listen. All of you listen. If you give a little more time, you will do it. The point is now you listen, you observe. So I give the reflection time. You observe. And then you have to do some sets like this on your own. That's important. Or whenever you see the instances of this, you got to do it. That is when it becomes your kind of method. Or come back and do the similar set after some time. I'll come back to this particular question, pause the video, you do it once again, that would help. But while I'm trying to say, quickly listen so that now we will get underway and close this. Fair enough. Let's take a look at this. Out of the 490 tourists, 210 visited. Okay, you would have read it already. I don't have to explain this. Language is very, very simple. So all it says is what? Hey, out of this 490 is a support number. What is this 490 support number trying to say? There are some people, all right, who have not visited any of the three cities. They visited something else. I'm interested how many of them visited Paris, London, and Sydney. They might have visited something else. They might have visited Singapore, or they might have visited Mumbai. We don't know, right? So therefore, we don't know. So none of these cities, and some of them might have visited exactly one out of these three cities. Some of them might have toured exactly two out of these cities. Some of them might have visited all three cities. That is the possibility, which brings to 490. This is my nuts and bolts. After reading this question, you kind of realize that, hey, this is what I need to plug before I go on to do any particular question. Why? Unlike earlier question where it said that none was 0, in the earlier question the none was given to me as 0, but here it doesn't look like it is equal to 0 because it's given the number of tourists who visited exactly two of the three cities is three times those who have not visited any of these particular cities. Therefore it doesn't look like 0 there. Right, so therefore I said that, hey, 490 is made up of this number. 490 is made up of all four types of visitors, right? In the sense, some of them visited none, some of them visited one, some of them visited two of the mentioned cities, some of them visited all three mentioned cities. All this is a part of this particular 490. Fair enough. Now let me go to the zonal theorem. Where are my support numbers? Paris 210. Okay, 2 of 210 visited Paris. Hey, my point is, sir, should I draw this diagram and write? Absolutely not. You don't have to draw this, right? So you can simply note it down. It's a region. Now you know that it's a support number. 210 is a support number. 190 is a support number. 190 is a support number. Simply add them. That's okay. You don't have to draw and then write and then add. This is only to explain. All right. Yeah. Okay. And then 190 visited London. 190 visited London. Sure. That's a support number. Another 190 visited Sydney. Right. Sydney is another 190. Fair enough. Okay. What does these three support numbers does? We kind of know about it. This is what the support numbers does. Okay. So if you add them, if you add this number to this number and this number, it talks except none. It will not include none. These three support numbers don't talk about none because none is outside. Why will these inside support numbers talk about none of these, which is outside of this particular region? It won't talk about that. That's what we talked about while we are learning the zonal theorem. Apply that zonal theorem. Therefore, region 1 plus 2 times of region 2 plus 3 times of region 3, because inside are the regions. Region 1s, there are three region 1s. There are 3 types of region 2s. All right, there is a 3 allocation for a region 3. Now the support numbers only talk about those particular values out there inside. Fair enough. So I add these values now. So the support numbers, so 1, 2 times of region 2, 3 times of region 3, courtesy zonal theorem, equal to 210 plus 190 plus 190, which adds up to 590. I added the inside support number to arrive at this. I also know from here none plus 1, all right, here plus 1 plus 2 and plus 3. All right, 1 time of region none, 1 time of 1, 1 time of 2, 1 time of 3 would be equal to 490. Fair enough. Solve them. If I solve, once gets cancelled. Therefore, you say that region 2 plus 2 times of region 3 minus n is equal to 100. Why? Because I'm subtracting the second equation, the value of n would be negative. Therefore, minus n is equal to 100. Okay, first of all, guys, please give me the confirmation that application of the zonal theorem and this part is clear, everybody, because this is the stage 1 of the problem. This is the stage 1. When I fill this grid, it becomes the stage 2. Is the stage 1 clear? Because if the stage 1 doesn't work, then the stage 2 doesn't work. Thereby, we will not be able to answer the questions. Right? Stage 1, stage 2, stage 3. That's how we kind of put it in our mind. This is the stage 1. What I did so far is the stage 1. Okay, some more information is given. 30 of them visited all 3 cities, which means author has given is graceful and he has given one middle number there. Fair enough. Call it one middle. Generally, I told you whenever the middle numbers are given, the problems would become little more easier. So which means, can I create much more difficult sets on this? Of course, yes. We will see them as we go along. We will see them in our journey. We will see them on Venn-Diagrams. All right. Region 3 is how much? 30. Apply this 2 times of 30 because region 3 value is 30. 2 plus it all 2. All right. Now this has become 100. So therefore you say that from here, when you write this, you say that region 2 minus none is equal to 40. Fair enough. Also, this particular statement is given the number of tourists who visited exactly 2, which means this exactly 2 is 3 times who visited none, which means region 2 is equal to 3 times of n. That is what that underlined statement trying to tell us here. The number of tourists who visited exactly 2 out of the 3 is nothing but 3 times none of those who visited none of them. Okay, 3 times of n. Substitute 3n minus n is equal to 40. From here you get that 2n is equal to 40 and hence n is equal to 20. One thing you opened up. All right, n is equal to 20. Region of 3 is equal to 30. Hey, what about this in that case? All right, now what about region of 2? I can get this. Region of 2 is equal to 3 times of n. What is the value of n? You just found out, which is equal to 20. Therefore, this is another 60. 2 times of this 60. Okay, so out of 490, I know the breakup. There is 20 here, there is 60 here, and there is 30 here. Right? So which adds up to 110. Therefore, I can write this as remaining 380. Out of 490, I subtract the other 3 numbers available. My stage 2 is ready, which means I'm ready with the nuts and bolts of the problem. Okay, give a confirmation that so far it is good. So far it is good. All good here. Stage 1 and stage 2 are clear, which means nut and bolts are ready. Give a quick confirmation, guys. Quick. All good so far? Yeah. Because we need to reach this. We need to reach this. We make use of zonal theorem to reach this. That's objective. That's objective. What did I write wrong? Akash, you are saying that I wrote something wrong. What did we write wrong there? Okay, here. All right. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you. All right. Yeah, sure. Thanks for noticing that. Yeah, perfect. Fair enough. Yeah, I represented it wrong. Yeah. Okay. Cool. That's fine. Sorted. All right. Yeah. Now the questions. First one is straightforward. How many of the tourists have exactly one city? That is just from here. Solid sitter directly from there. So that is nothing but 380. Exactly one is 380. Now I want you to take time to answer the second question. Now I want you guys to take time to answer the second question. Yeah. Spend the time there and make use of the diagram. So now here you have to make use of the diagram and you have to make use of these nuts and bolts to arrive at the answer to question 2. All right, to arrive at the answer to question 2, you have to take help of the diagram and you have to take help of these nuts and bolts. Yeah, you got to take help of these two. Then you would be able to answer question 2 and question 3. So both can be answered. Yeah, go ahead. Everybody go ahead. This is almost a cat replica set, guys. Okay, so we are almost close. Cat was one notch deeper than this, but that can be handled if we can handle these questions. Yeah. Okay, all right. So do it with me. Do it with me. Where you guys got stuck? Are you sitting with pen and book? If you're just watching, you will not get the answer. Okay, let's try this. If the number of tourists, listen, all of you listen. All of you listen now. Don't start doing this and that, and then again I have to repeat otherwise. So we can cut down that repetition, unnecessary repetition time. Listen, all of you, focus, listen. If the number of tourists, because you will be anyway solving many more questions far more superior than this, don't worry. Let's get hang of this. So let's understand what a trick does here. If the number of tourists who visited at least one of the two cities, that is London, the word is at least. at least one of the two cities, minimum one of the two cities between London and Sydney. Which are the regions? This one, this one, this one, this one, this one, and this one. These six ticks together is 330. That is the meaning. Hey, what is this 330 trying to say? All right, these six stars, all these are London or Sydney, at least one. So now ask these fellows, they'll say that, yeah, we visited London. Ask these fellows, have you visited London or Sydney? Yes, we visited. Ask these fellows, have you visited at least one of London and Sydney? Yes, which means these six stars put together is 330. You may say that, sir, I already know 30. Let it be. Doesn't matter, because anyway, you don't know the value of remaining 5 stars, right? So that doesn't matter. So therefore, all these 6 stars put together is 330. And I know the value of none also. Hey, what is the value of none? 20. So 6 stars. The value of 6 stars is 330. And the value of none is another 20. Fair enough. The value of none is another 20. Therefore, I can find the value of the hash. The value of the hash, because 6 stars, none, and the hash put together will be equal to 490, all of them, because 8 regions, 6 stars means 6 regions, none of these is one region, one hash I have, so therefore 350 is gone. So therefore you will find the value of this hash to start with. All right, hey, what is the value of this hash? 330 plus another 20, 350 is gone. All right, therefore you would say that the value of the hash is 140. Fair enough, you will find this first. 140 has come. All right, then what is that author wanted? Don't lose focus on that. Question is, how many tourists visited only London and Sydney? I need to reach here. This is the question mark. I need to reach there. Okay, the stars have done the help. Thank you. Let's come to the second portion here. Then what you do? Look at this 210. Look at this 210. Out of this 210, you know the value of this. You know the value of this. All right, now therefore the remaining 2 stars put together will be equal to, these two put together will be equal to 140 plus 30 is 170. Therefore the remaining things would be equal to another 40. Fair enough. Hey, do I know the value of region 2? Yes. Hey, what is the value of region 2? The value of region 2 is nothing but 60. The value of region 2 is nothing but 60. Out of 60, I already have 40 here. I already have 40 here. Therefore, what is the value of this question mark? The value of this question mark would become another 20. The value of question mark would become another 20. Did you all get this? Is the explanation clear, everybody? Did it make sense? Everyone, did it make sense? Is this clear what we did? Actual answer is 20. 20 is the answer to this question. Did you all understand? Okay, this is the minimum level of expectation from CAT. Okay, and we will see all it will go much deeper than this. But is this clear? So you have to use all the stimulus. A little bit of things will be there on the diagram. A little bit of things will be there on this particular chart, nuts and bolts. You got to use both of them judiciously to arrive at the answer. Fair enough? Making sense? Everybody making sense? Quick. Must confirm that this question is clear. This is one of the critical questions to be taught for today from today's lesson. Okay, you need a lot of alertness to do these kind of questions. You cannot be half awake, right? You need to be thoroughly awake. That's important there. You're half awake, then the mind doesn't function. It will not respond to the stimulus. What are the stimulus? The numbers you see all across are the stimulus. It will not respond to that stimulus. It will be stuck. Okay, yeah, good. All right. So why don't you close it with the third question now? I gave a good background. So all of you close the third question. Give me a confirmed answer to the third question. Much simpler than the second question, appears simpler. Answer, everybody answer the third question. Good, very good. Simple question, right? Okay, this is 0. Given, all right, if there is nobody who visited only, the word is only Paris and Sydney. Only Paris and Sydney, 0. Therefore, these two cells adds up to 60. We don't know the breakup, but they add up to 60. Total is 190, out of which I already have 60 and 30. Therefore, a perfect 100 here. Therefore, the perfect 100 here, which becomes my answer. A perfect 100 there, which is the answer. Very good. Yeah. So that gives a small illustration. Okay, what I did with these two sets is I gave an illustration about how the zonal theorem is used to unlock the questions, right? That's important there. Okay, yeah. All right, so you can put your comments there. What is that, Chukia? All right, you are trying to say that Venn diagrams are a bit confusing. Everything is confusing while learning, right? Nothing would be clear while learning, Chukia, right? So yes, so that is what it is. So after all it, the clarity comes by understanding and practicing. Simple. All right, simple. There is no rocket science there. Everything is confusing in the beginning. Okay, good enough. All right. So have all of you, have you learned something today? Have you learned something today? Was there some learning? Quickly confirm. Akash or Aksh. I don't know how to already Aksh. It looks like more like Aksh. Practice sets. Aksh, please find through your materials for the practice tests. Please find from your materials. Yeah. So I don't have that bandwidth of making the tests and giving it. No. Okay. So there may be a little here and there a lot of material. I keep telling you be choosy. So what adds value, you solve. Right? Solve only that which adds value. Something you look at the question, you understand that it's not adding value, don't solve. Don't solve because it will not make any change in your brain. All right, it will not bring any difference, doesn't make any difference. Just like going to the gym and taking 1 kg dumbbell and trying to do something with it and then patting your back saying that, okay, man, I did 40 repetitions of 1 kg. For what? It doesn't bring any transformation other than causing some unnecessary pain in the joints, right? Rather, take an appropriate weight dumbbell, and then if you do even 20 reps, it will change your muscle, right? Similarly, the brain also is one of the muscles. It changes provided we challenge it. Unless we challenge it, it does not change. But don't challenge too much. You got to do it you got to do it in an incremental manner. In the sense, you go to the gym and suddenly you take 20 kg dumbbell and start doing that. Don't do that. Don't doing that. Okay, so you have to already gradually build that particular muscle. Same thing. So how do you understand any material that you have? Take a look at that material. If you think that, okay, this will not add more value to my practice because you already did that kind of practice, leave it. Go to the next one. Go to the next one. Right? Yeah, of course, some revisions are required. I'm not denying that revisions are not required. Revisions are required, but then too much of revision is also not required. Right? So you should always add that incremental value every time you sit for a study. Right? That's something that you may have to do there. All right, so that brings us to the end of this particular lecture. If you have liked what we are doing, don't leave before pressing the like button. If you have liked it, show that in your comments so that also encourages me, helps me to understand that, okay, we are making a difference here, or there is some difference happening in the lecture. You like, and then you can also share with others, right? So don't keep the learning to yourself. Share the link, the link of this YouTube, share them, ask them to take a look at that, and let them also come and join us there. Yes, and if you are watching it offline, you can also leave that comment in the comment section. There is a live chat, or there is an offline chat as well. You can do that as well. Okay, and tonight we'll be doing a compound interest. Again, use of multiplier in the compound interest is what we are going to examine tonight. And I have done a couple of strategy videos about the DI and the quant have been uploaded. You can search for it and you can take a look at that as well. And I'll be quickly launching a course, a free course. All it is also free. There is a free course which will be launched on Unacademy platform. This is an Unacademy app. Unacademy app application. Once you download the app, you can log in either on your mobile or you can also log in on your laptop. All of that, but you may have to first download it on your app while you are looking for on your mobile. App has to be firstly downloaded on the mobile. While all asking that, it will ask for an unlocking code or something. You can use my name and you can unlock that particular code. Yes, there are a couple of new batches which are launched, and if you're looking for any structured course, you're preparing for appearing for CAT 22 or CAT 21, you are looking for some of this. So some of the educators have launched a course. You can take a look at these particular offerings as well. Yeah, that brings to the end of this particular lecture. Yes, people, that's also a free course. What I will be doing is a free course. Yeah. Okay, any of your comments you can quickly put there. I might wait for about a minute. Something there you can put it. Put those comments. I will try and answer if you do it within a minute. So if you have joined sometime in between, please go to the beginning of the video, and all of you, you may have to watch Venn-Diagram 1. So watch Venn-Diagram 1 even before you watch this zonal theorem. So that will set some expectation about the regions, and it will be very easy to understand this particular lecture. right? Yeah, if you're difficult to find that Venn diagram one, so type it as cat ninjas. You will get a playlist. Call it cat ninjas. Type it as cat ninjas 1.0, and you will get a playlist, and you can search within that playlist. All right. Well, guys, all right. So I will close this. I will close the session. Thank you, everyone. So I will see you guys at night 10 p.m. Bye till then. Stay blessed. God bless you.